dog lovers paradise, Mochi's tales.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Mochi's channel. And today and on Wednesday we were babysitting a second dog here with Mochi. It was a lot of chaos, a lot of fun, but I wanted to make a video on how to introduce a second dog to your home. So let's get started. Before I get into the specific steps to introduce a second dog, I just want to say this can apply to introducing a second dog that you're babysitting or dog sitting temporarily like I was doing today, or if you got a new dog permanently. It could apply both ways. So the first step for introducing a second dog into your home is to first meet in a neutral area. So even if your dog is super friendly with other dogs and so is that dog, you're always going to want to start in a neutral area because your dog might act differently when it becomes part of their territory. When another dog comes directly into their home with no, soft interaction in a neutral space, it can get very aggressive. Your dog might get very possessive of his home and snap at the other dog. The second thing you're going to want to do when introducing a second dog to your home is to first take them on a walk or multiple walks together. So you're going to want to walk in parallel. At first, you don't want them to be like this close walking together the whole time. Ideally, you can be handling your dog, someone else could be handling the other dog, and you guys can walk a few feet apart in the same direction parallelly so that they can still see each other, maybe even smell each other, but they're not, like attached at the hip yet. And then as you get walk more and more and your dogs seem to, want to play together, you guys can obviously walk a little bit closer. But basically, this kind of eases your dog into this interaction. So when they're walking parallelly as well, they kind of are developing kind of a pack mentality, to be honest. And that's why walking two dogs together is so good. And also it seems or it feels to them like they're accomplishing the same goal. They're working towards the same goal because they're walking in the same direction in the same environment. There's all these smells that they're exploring together. It's just a great way to introduce two dogs instead of going head on like that. It's great to take, even a short walk if possible, parallelly with two dogs. The third step you're going to want to take is to finally let your dogs sniff each other and feel each other out. So after you've taken a walk or two or three or however many is great, you're going to want to let them smell each other. So you're obviously going to want to do this on leash because again, you don't know what can go wrong, but it's really important not to keep leash tension. So the leash is like the best way to communicate with your dog. When you pull tension on the leash when he's meeting another dog, that might signal to your dog to like be on alert. And it's going to give them that feeling of restraint. Even with humans, when you feel super restrained, you get more stressed out. It's the same thing for dogs. When you pull their leash so that it's tense the whole time, they're going to maybe become on alert. So when you introduce two dogs, you're going to want to keep the leash short enough so that if your dog attacks or gets attacked, you can pull them away. But you don't want to, keep it tight the whole time. And then once your dogs have gotten to know each other, sniffed each other, and it obviously seems good, read their body language, it doesn't seem like they're tense or one is more tense than the other, then you can go off leash in an area that obviously is permitted. And then the next step is you're going to want to take them into the yard of your house. So before you go directly inside, ideally you have a yard. If you do, let your dogs play off leash there and monitor them a little bit to make sure that they're still communicating well, they're still getting along, and there's no stress or tension between them. Finally, we have this step where you guys can both go inside. Now, before we enter the house, you definitely, this is so important, want to get rid of any resources because resource guarding is very real, especially in a dog's own home. So get rid of the water bowl, the food bowl, toys, chews, everything or beds even. Get rid of everything so that even your house is as neutral as possible. And you're really going to want to keep a close eye on your dogs at this point. This is a really crucial moment. The other dog is finally entering your dog's territory. Hopefully and probably it will go well if all the previous steps went well. Now that the dogs are successfully inside your house, there are a few tips to keep it peaceful and great. The first one is to plan for a lot of timeouts / rest breaks. So first of all, if you are introducing this new dog into your home for a long period of time, so not just like a few hours of a play date, you're definitely going to want to establish some rules with these two and let them know that when you're inside, you can't play if that's what you want them to do. Or it's like if you say a command like relax, they have to stop playing. This is really important because your dogs do need rest. And also what I noticed with Mochi when I was dog sitting was that the dog I was dog sitting wanted to play for hours and hours and hours, whereas Mochi was kind of over it after 1 hour. So I really needed to train them to relax when I said relax, because if that dog kept bothering Mochi, he would have snapped. So it's really important to, set some boundaries and make them relax, take their naps, because a tired dog is also going to be an irritable dog, increasing the risk of something bad happening. It's just like they do in doggy daycare. You need to kind of force your dogs to nap if they just want to go, go, go all the time, because you can't just have your dog playing 24/7. It just isn't good for them. My last tip is to not let these two dogs be alone before you entirely 100% trust them to be on their own, which probably is going to take a few weeks to establish. So the reason is because even if your dogs are doing great in the first few hours or even the first day together in this new home, you never know what's going to happen when you're not there. So when two dogs have been living together for years on end, it's very unlikely that they're going to fight and actually hurt each other when you're not there, because they'll already be like brother, sister, brother, whatever. But when you have this new second dog in the house, it might take 3 days for this first dog to finally lash out at the second dog. And if you're not there, it can get really bad. So you definitely want to separate them when you're not home and let them build a really, really great, strong foundation when you are home, so that in a few weeks or months, whenever, when you do have to leave, you can trust them to be together. Okay guys, I hope this video really helps if you're planning to introduce a second dog into your home anytime soon. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!